We're rolling.
Not sure what to do with my hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerdbuzzed.
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it. I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger. With me, as always,
Jeremiah Johnson.
And what did I say he was before?
The cheers captain.
The cheers captain.
Take
This is
two.
Plural. Yeah, take two. We recorded for like 10 minutes and forgot to hit start. But we're still doing it, right? We're clearly going to talk about Infinity War. It's right there. But before we get to that, Jay, please tell me once again, because I already forgot, what are we drinking?
We are drinking Colshan Brewing's Bastard Cat IPA.
Yes. I don't think... Did you ever say your name?
Oh, my name is Josh Saintz,
Yeah,
and I
he's
am
back.
the cheers captain.
Yes. You
Yes.
get that
And
title
I am
forever.
drinking a tasty Mountain Dew today.
Yes. And you are going to review and score it.
Yeah.
Because he's being responsible.
Yes, that's right. That's why he's going to review and score it.
Yes.
Or that's why he's drinking it?
That's why he's
okay,
drinking it.
okay.
Yeah.
You're so responsible.
Well, it's a late night on a Thursday, and I have to work tomorrow, so
Yeah, it all makes sense. So do I.
Yeah, but
I also have to drive like an
I'm saying
hour.
you don't have a drive tonight.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. I'm not driving anywhere after this. So 6.66%,
Yes.
right?
Make sure that point's in there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be, that's impossible to have 666%, right?
What could be 0.666?
Okay.
No.
That would be also okay?
No, it would not be good.
That would also be bad.
I'm sure
Yeah,
it would.
okay. One time when I had, when I was in the bank, just some generic thing in the bank, there was a guy behind me that was livid that his debit card had 666 on it. He threw a fit in the bank and like screamed at the lady at the counter and just refused to touch it anymore. And I was like, dude, you're giving that number way too much power.
Yeah, exactly.
Be on the floor, head turn around, and start barking.
He should have, right? Yeah. Anyway,
Crab
it was
walk.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was about until he like slammed it on the counter and started screaming at her. It was pretty crazy. He was pissed. Anyway,
I see.
yeah. So we mentioned it's a pungent beer.
It is very pungent. It is, smells incredibly grassy.
It does.
I don't know what else to really say about it.
Let's drink it. Let's
All
drink it
right.
and get into the show. Let's do it again, guys.
To all the nerds,
Through all the fuzz,
bottoms up. Let's get Nerdbuzzed.
Mick will appreciate that we had to hit start again.
Oh, yeah.
It's for you, Mick. 2 starts.
Wow.
Yeah,
that
once
is
again.
sweet, and it hits you with a dark hit in the back of the throat.
Yeah.
Kind of like sugary, like on your teeth sugary.
Yeah.
And the not roboticized version. Wow, that hits no.
Yeah.
Power in the kitchen.
We're going to keep drinking it because that's what we do.
Yep.
And we'll throw a number on it at the end, just like Infinity War. So once again, Josh, because we got to have our little rant pre-show, will you once again tell me, because I already forgot, will you tell me what was your attitude before you saw Infinity War?
A lot of excitement. I thought that this was going to be just a further improvement on the Avengers movies. Also thought that they were going to bring in some humor, like from Thor Ragnarok and stuff, and really step up the humor game. And, I didn't have any concerns, really. I kind of knew the story, or it's been, I was given a synopsis that things don't end well for anybody.
No.
Yeah.
So, knowing that going into the movie, I was already kind of ready. Had I not known that, had that not been spoiled for me, it would have been a lot harder for me.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I guess we should mention that since we're doing this again. We're going to try to keep at least the first few minutes of this spoiler-free, and then we're just going to dive in and talk about whatever we want. So,
Yeah.
So, should I just go do it again? What I did last time? We'll kind of run through our quick little
Yeah.
what we thought of it. So again, I really hyped myself up for this movie. I really wanted to come out of the movie and have my cheeks hurt and just like my eyes watering because it was so awesome. and not to like undersell it, but that didn't happen for me. I think I oversold it for myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Got a little too hyped. My biggest concern was definitely the CGI, and especially after seeing Black Panther.
Yeah.
Which, again, I really want to emphasize that's not a... I'm not saying Black Panther's a bad movie, because I did really enjoy that movie. But the CGI was harsh. That was the worst thing about that movie.
There were a few very harsh CGI moments in that movie.
In
Like
Black Panther?
Yes.
Vibranium
Yeah.
trains and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and anytime the ship landed and the little door would open and they would
Yeah.
clearly walk off of a green screen
Right.
block or whatever, right? Like, there were several things like that. The big rhinos, they were
Yeah.
horrible green. Like, there were
Yeah.
just bad green screen in that
Yeah.
movie.
Yep.
But overall, it's great. I really did enjoy Black Panther. But I went into this one with a little bit of fear for that. Like, is that not a priority, really, for them anymore? And all those concerns alleviated during
Yeah.
the movie. There's a couple little parts here and there in it.
But that's getting nitpicky.
Yeah, really.
And it doesn't detract from the movie.
No, I didn't think so either.
The detail on Thanos and all that, and the supporting characters, it was really good. You could believe that he was standing right there with, the guys.
yeah.
It didn't look like kind of phoned in CGI.
No, I didn't think so at all. I really thought Thanos looked pretty good through the whole thing. I was very pleased with Thanos. He stayed the same purple or
Yes.
pink or whatever. He stayed that same color,
Yes.
which was
Ball
nice.
sack chin.
Yeah, right? Even that, yeah. I still think he should have had a couple little hairs on the end of that ball sack chin.
Oh my gosh.
Because
Yeah. But I think it's pretty good. Before we sat down and had a beer before the movie, and I'd mentioned then, or we were talking about how the only thing we knew about the Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos was just in these end cutscenes. Mm-hmm. And I think, for me anyway, that's a good way to describe this movie. It feels like a lot of these things, like maybe they would have been a big departure if they were all separate little end scenes from another movie, but they kind of have that like cut up feel to it, for me anyway.
Yeah, it did. And like I said, it had each group of characters had their own section, their own story, and their own kind of end to it,
Yeah.
which was done. I think they did it well though.
Yeah,
I don't think it was.
I think
very
overall
rushed.
the movie's good.
No, it's not right. I thought it was done well. This is a very, very, very heavily dialogue-driven movie,
Yeah.
which is something that I was totally into.
Yeah.
So
It's I definitely think it's good. I'm surprised at how well all the characters got to shine. Like nobody was really highlighted more than anybody else.
no, not really. If anybody had more focus than anybody else, might have been the Hulk.
You think he got a little more focus?
I think he did. Just
You mean Banner?
Yeah.
spoiler.
Yeah. Hulk's in it. Hulk's in there.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But well, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's having performance issues.
Yes, yeah. But to be fair, he kind of was in Ragnarok, right? Like that's when that all started.
Yeah.
Really at the end of the second Avengers movie.
But it was the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're gonna see more green in this podcast than you do in the movie.
Yeah, maybe, huh? Or let's take that back. You'll see more green.
Oh, well, you'll see this color green.
Yeah. You
Kind
won't
of,
see
yeah.
green in this
Never.
podcast.
Yeah.
Don't wear green.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Jay? Go out, race out, see this movie?
Oh, see it tonight. See it tomorrow.
Yeah. Would
Definitely.
you go see it again?
Oh, I'm going to see it again.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go see it again. I think I have to. I've already told a couple different friends I'll go see it with them.
Yeah, the Cinnabar trip sounds like a pretty good trip too. So
That sounds so expensive.
it's not that bad.
I don't know. I'll have to see. How much is a beer at the Cinnabar?
That's about all I ever get. So
Was it like $7 or something?
it's stadium prices.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like $8-9. Yeah.
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 But that's all I ever do when I went there is just got a beer. So
Yeah.
always eat before you go in.
Yes, eat. Don't bring beer and drink it in your car. In the
How
parking lot.
would you do
Why
that?
would you do that? Right? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What do you think, Josh? Have to see it?
Yeah,
Everybody go check it out.
I'm gonna see it again. I'm not gonna see it on another work night because I got called out and caught by the missus today.
Yeah. Somebody yanked
Yeah.
the chain a little bit, huh?
Yeah. I was building a chicken coop all day, and then I was like, I gotta go to work, and then I was like, oh, but it's movie time.
I'll tell you what. I think it's a good thing you built that chicken coop.
Yeah,
Right?
thank you, Marcus.
Did you build it well? Is it
I built
protected from? You might be sleeping in it tonight. So did you do a good job?
I have a roof to sleep under. It's not fully built, but there's a little nook in there that I can.
I can see Josh in there perched on the little perch in the chicken. She's gonna yell at you, dude. She's gonna want. She's expecting an egg in the morning
I
too.
say, if you reach through the collection door, those aren't eggs.
Yeah.
Look at the size of that head in there.
Oh my god! Spoiler alert. So, so now, I guess basically we all love it. Go see it. It really is really, really good. All the hype for it, I think, is worth it.
They did a good job at the last 10 years.
I think so. It really brings everything that's happened kind of full circle. It definitely has a dark tone to it.
Yes.
Which if you're not aware of that, then you have not looked at anything at all to do with that's been out there.
I gotta say, this is the first time I've truly appreciated the new intro for Marvel Studios.
It was kind of ominous today.
It
didn't even play music really. It was like
it was dark, but the way
Yeah.
it was cut and everything, it worked. It fit well, and I was like going, "Wow, this is truly setting a tone." And the way it worked like that, you almost wonder if it was if they had that in mind.
Yeah,
When they
foreshadowing.
cut it the first time.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's dive in. We're gonna dive in. Some spoilers might get brought up. You've been alerted.
It's very, very.
But I'm just gonna come out and say it and say this is not my favorite Marvel movie. It's up there, but there are multiple Marvel movies that I enjoyed a lot more than this.
I'm going to hold that until we have the second one. That comment, that opinion.
You think so? Well, I do think it feels kind of Empire, right? It's got that sort of kind of an ending to it. It's definitely not. It's not the end of the story. Clearly, they can't just end it where it is. It's definitely left it at a cliffhanger. But I didn't. For some reason, for me, it did feel kind of rushed. I felt like there was so much going on in the movie, and they kept changing. Like at one point, I even leaned over to you during the movie and said, "Did they show what happened to Iron Man and Spider-Man?" Like it was so long, but from when that first interaction in New York happened, then they did all the other characters and all that stuff, and it was like you almost forgot that even happened at the beginning of the movie because they were constantly shoving more and more stuff in your face throughout the whole movie.
I didn't get that.
You didn't get that at all?
No, I thought it worked pretty well the way they brought it back around.
So I can't remember when you stepped out, but basically that was the first attack on Vision. When you had to step out.
And that's right when I saw it. That's right when I came back.
I don't know how much of that you saw.
Because I had to pee.
If anything was rushed, was the whole Vision and Scarlet Witch stuff. I don't know. That kind of seemed pushed in there. Didn't seem natural. Didn't seem.
Really, that was the only one you felt that way with?
It didn't I don't know. It was the most insincere feeling, and maybe that was just there's no chemistry between the actors really, or what. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like they showed just enough of it to show how much they had bonded, and they discussed. They don't throw a whole lot of that in your face. They talk about how they've been off by themselves for 2 years or something like that.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of things. I think that scene and that feel is a great example of how important it would be to watch all the other Marvel movies before this one.
Oh,
there's so many things. Like the only reason you can relate and kind of fill in those gaps, maybe the parts that I was feeling rushed with, is because you know the backstory, right? It's like you know they've already had these interactions, they've already dealt and hashed that out with each other and come to their own conclusions. Yeah. And in this movie, which maybe is great after seeing all the other ones, they don't drag a lot of that up again, so you don't have to. They don't recycle a lot of it. But I do think it came off as a little bit like bombarded to just like, you get this next thing. Oh, this next thing now, which is great because I love action and I'm a sucker for it, right?
Yeah.
But it was just it was like a roller coaster movie to watch. Like it just kept hitting me. And it was like I'm having a hard time processing stuff. I'm actually looking forward to seeing it again, just so I can like take in those other parts. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I found it a little hard to absorb.
Speaking of action, though, How about our first introduction to Thanos?
As a badass, actually doing things.
on the Asgardian ship.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was brutal. The way he handled the Hulk.
And they didn't even have stones.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no, they did.
Yeah, we had the one.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And we got the other one from Loki.
Yep.
How do you guys feel about that? Do you think Loki's really dead? Spoiler alert, clearly.
Yeah.
I think
How many times has he died?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
this they showed it very clearly dead. Loki.
Yeah. I think you could even hear
But
like
they
a
did that in
crack.
the other ones too.
You know?
Yeah, but his eyes turned bloodshot red, and then he saw his neck break, and
Yeah.
that was like, and then just the lifeless body.
Yeah. Should we just talk about the people that died? Should we just keep rolling with it?
Sure.
Not the dust people at the end.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those people count. They don't count as dead. Some of those people have their own movies that are coming out either right before or right after the next Infinity War or whatever, Avengers 4, whatever they're going to call it. So clearly they're not dead. But so we had Loki,
Yep.
who got it. I still don't know if he's dead. I don't know what to believe about Loki. I don't trust that guy.
You should have just come out as a snake and stabbed the guy.
Right?
Yeah.
And Gamora,
Yep.
which I was shocked by.
I was totally shocked by the Gamora death.
Yeah. I mean, really, even with the dust at the end of the movie, all those people were only left with Rocket.
Yeah.
Right? He's the only Guardian that's around now.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy that they would all be gone.
I want to interject something real quick. The reason that I think that Loki might be gone is he finally did something that was actually selfless. Thor's being tortured by Thanos, and he made an attempt to try to kill Thanos.
Yeah.
So that's why I think, he may have really kicked the bucket, but
He's going to come back as like Loki the White now.
yeah.
As long as he's got a big hat.
Yeah, right. The other one that really... So who else? Was there one more? Who am I forgetting?
Loki, Gamora.
I
thought there was three. I was trying to remember them all. It's hard to remember because of all the dust people at the end,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like they all got blurred together for me.
Yeah, if you're doing
Well,
it in
Vision.
order.
I mean, straight up, Vision's dead.
Yeah. That was pretty brutal.
That was.
The head hole that was left.
I think the worst part of that is, what Scarlet Witch had to, she actually went through and killed him thinking that was going to be solving the problem, and so she had to experience that crap, and then, the Time Stone
Yeah.
comes right back, and then he gets really finished
Which I have a
off.
theory on the second
Yeah.
movie, because Doctor Strange set up the Time Stone to loop in the end of the Doctor Strange movie. That's how he finishes.
Yeah.
So I wonder when he did the whole "this is the only way" thing, if he created that, and this is all a loop, and Thanos is living this loop, it's happening, and then it's going to reset on him again.
Yeah, it could be, totally.
That's my theory, anyway.
Yeah. One thing I do want to bring up, which is total spoiler, I was surprised at. What about Red Skull? Wasn't that a weird?
Yeah, that was weird.
That was really
Yeah.
weird for him to be in the movie the way he was. I never saw that coming.
It wasn't the same actor either, was it? I don't think it was.
I don't know. The voice, I think, sounded a little weird, but he looked like him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much...
Agent Smith or whatever. I can't remember the actor's name, but I don't
The voice
believe
sounded
it was him.
different to me.
In fact, I think he has been interviewed saying he wouldn't do any superhero movies, and this is years ago.
Yeah.
Again, so the character wasn't in the movie for very long. I don't know if they got him or not. I was trying to look at the credits and see if I recognized the name, but I didn't recognize it.
What did you guys think of Thor and the Guardians? Because I was really hoping that would be a good team up.
Yeah.
I personally liked it.
Yeah, I really liked it too. I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was awesome. I thought the
rabbit.
Yeah.
Rabbit.
Hey, Robert. The thing about it is how much you can tell it bugs him, but he is not going to talk back to Thor. He talks back to everyone except Thor.
Yeah. And I love that they brought the eyeball back.
Yeah.
Wasn't that from Guardians? Do you remember him
one he
stealing
stole,
it?
right?
Yeah. And came all full circle. That was great.
You think Rabbit's gonna get his white Winter Soldier's
No, it turned to
arm.
dust.
Yeah, that's true.
It all turned to dust.
I'm gonna
man.
get that on.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. It's hard to, I'm still like digesting it.
Oh yeah.
Like there's so much going on. It basically started out right away with just action. There were a couple points where they would dive in and really dialogue driven parts
Yes.
that would come in. But really for the most part in this movie, it's like there's always something actiony going on.
It wasn't quite Bane dialogue-ish, but it was very dialogue-driven.
Yeah.
It-
What do you mean?
You know, Bane in Batman movies.
Was that dialogue? That was like mumble driven.
He's very driven with his.
Oh God, yeah, that was so bad.
That's what
Yeah.
that for sure was
That's-
Sean
that's-
Connery.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but you know what I'm saying. Is they had him talking a lot,
Yes.
very very monologuing, and there's a bunch of that with Thanos, but it didn't seem overly done.
No, I didn't. I really enjoyed Thanos. I really went into this thinking that he would be there, but just kind of be this sort of secondary character. But he really stole the show anytime he was in a scene.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, which he should. And I think they sold that part really, really well. I was a little bit worried about that.
I was really happy to see him in his armor
Yeah.
in the very first scene, and then in the Gamora flashbacks.
Yes. And then he kind of, as he builds up his gauntlet, he just kind of sheds it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't need this.
he doesn't.
Yeah.
Not that he really needed it to begin with, but
Especially how he's a wrecking Hulk, you know.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We saw the way he handled the Hulk, because he doesn't need no armor for that.
I would say that was some of the worst CGI in the movie was Banner or even when they showed him in the War Machine and like without the helmet, like it was clearly a CGI suit, and then just like their bodies were just a little off with the movement and stuff from what it was. But that wasn't bad. I did notice though at the end that one scene in the trailers where they're coming out of the woods and Hulk's there and all the guys are like coming out of the fort. Like that was never in the movie.
No.
I looked for that in there because I kept thinking Hulk's going to come out and he'll be
you
in that scene, and it never happened.
Maybe I missed it, but I don't remember I'm gonna enjoy this
Oh, yeah, I don't remember that
comment, because that's like one of the most iconic things from the trailer.
Yeah.
He's just that humble, or not humble, but arrogant laugh, I should say. That I'm gonna enjoy this.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
This puts a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did get to see Iron Spider.
Yes.
He did
With
have
4 arms.
Yeah, he did have 4 arms instead of 3. But what are you gonna do? The suit is also not just red and gold.
Yeah.
Right. But really, that was done pretty well. I'm still a little pissed off at Tony. I wasn't the biggest fan of his suit. It's not vibranium. We thought maybe it would be. It's not vibranium, but it's the nano.
It's the nanotech suit.
Yeah, which was cool when it would like rebuild itself and stuff. But
Well, I liked how it didn't necessarily just rebuild itself. Anytime something had like a part of it got destroyed, you'd see it come away from somewhere else to rebuild that area.
yeah.
So it's like when he needed a weapon, it's like when his boots disappeared for a second. And
Oh yeah, it would disperse itself differently all over him.
I thought that was awesome.
And the more diminished his suit
got, the more you saw,
the longer it took, and the more vulnerable he was.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
But it was so. It was almost more like Black Panther's kind of. Like it was more like a sleek suit, right? As opposed to like it didn't have any shifting panels and
it
things
wouldn't.
like his other suits.
It wouldn't need to be.
Yeah, I know. That's the part I missed though. It wasn't as there was no clunky robot part to it.
Yeah.
I kind of
he
missed
didn't
that.
carry.
A
He
little bit.
didn't have that dude with the suitcase. You know. From,
Yeah, right.
Iron
And
Man 2.
I think I'd heard he was supposed to be in the movie. But
Yeah, I didn't see him
I
at
didn't
all.
see him in there at all.
I think he's been in every Iron Man movie, right?
Yeah, and I think I saw like on list of like who's going to be in the movie. He was on there. I never saw him in it.
Well, he's probably just the scene that he's in is probably shot, just never made it in.
Maybe. Well, same with Hawkeye because he was listed as one of the people that was going to be in it. Was never in there. Ant-Man, we've mentioned Ant-Man. He was never in there. What the hell are these people doing? Clearly, Ant-Man has his own movie with Wasp. We got the trailer again for that. That must be what's going on there. Like that'll be a filler thing. How do you think Spider-Man Homecoming 2 is going to play into all this?
I don't know. He dusted.
Right? Where is the timeline for that? Does Infinity does Avengers 4 come out before the second Homecoming movie? You'd think it would have to.
For this to work, yeah.
Unless it's just all in Thanos' head, like you're saying, and this is just this mad loop going on, and everybody else is just standing there watching it happen. Right? I don't know. Questions. I've got a lot of questions. And Hawkeye. I want to know what the hell's going on with Hawkeye. Because I even heard that people were saying that the person that plays his wife, that she was supposed to be in the movie too, but there was none of that. Must be in the second part.
Maybe.
And maybe he comes back with a vengeance because his wife turned to dust.
Oh.
Right? And he found out why. Yeah. I guess major spoiler alert at the end of the movie. Right? We got more people that turned to dust.
Yeah.
And we got basically confirmed that Captain Marvel will be in the next one.
Yes.
Barely got that signal off.
Right?
Yeah.
Send! Right? It's like, to
Oh.
dust. Yeah, right? Yeah, that was pretty good. I liked
Maybe
it.
the only movie aside from that Star Wars where Sam Jackson didn't drop an F-bomb, right?
Yeah, just the Marvels.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It was, I don't know, I keep coming back to, it was good. It was really good. It just, this movie had so much that it had to acknowledge, maybe, and from all the other movies. So it was more restricted, maybe, as to what it could do. Right? Like, it had to make sure to tick these boxes.
Yeah.
Right? And do these things. And maybe that's what I was picking up a little bit from it, was that those things were blatantly in there, which is great, because I want it to be this big universe.
Well, how about the biggest character in it?
What do you mean, the biggest character?
Peter Dinklage is the biggest character in the movie.
Oh, yeah. That was great, because there's all this speculation on as to who he was going to be, and then when you finally see him, he's a giant, right?
Yeah. And they're even talking about dwarves.
Yeah,
Dwarves built his hammer.
Yeah. And you just never
He's a
thought they
dwarf.
were giants. Yeah. That was awesome. I was a big fan of that.
Yeah. That was one of the lines that cracked me up. It will kill you. And he goes, not if I don't die. Or what did he say?
Right.
Only if I die. Is
Yeah.
what he said.
That's very Thor.
That's
Thor's
what's
an idiot.
killing you.
He's great. I love him for that, but he's an idiot. Right?
And what if that happens?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think will happen with, because we said Banner and Hulk have performance issues,
Yes.
right? What the hell's going to happen with that?
Oh, clearly.
Because he's one of the people that didn't die either.
Nope.
So he's still there. I know in the comics for a while, I don't know when, it's been ever since I've read a Hulk comic, the 90s, I want to say, he is just the Hulk. Mm-hmm. Like, he just is like after multiple times to try to cure himself, he eventually just stays the Hulk. But he's not dumb. He's smart like Banner, but he's just big and green.
Well, I wonder if some of that...
But that's basically what was happening in the... But he's still kind of dumb, though.
Yeah.
In Thor, so...
He's still this brute, right? Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know, because they talked about how if he went to Hulk again, he wasn't sure if he'd ever get back. Now, he did in Ragnarok after that go Hulk.
Yeah.
We don't really see how he got back to his human form, but maybe that's his inner turmoil, like while Hulk is saying no, maybe because he doesn't want to be Hulk, or I don't know, something I was thinking about.
Maybe he's even just butthurt.
Yeah, as much as he wants to help, he's like, well, he had the Hulkbuster armor and all that, so.
Or
I kept expecting him
or he
to
just
rip
got
out
beat
of that.
twice in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
He's,
he got
his
beat by
tail's between his
Thor,
legs a
and then
little
he
bit.
got beat by Thanos.
He won easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. What'd
Doesn't sound right.
What'd you think of the new hammer?
It's pretty cool. I don't know. I thought it was pretty epic the way it came about, but
Yeah, it was very epic, and it
that Groot moment too.
that was awesome.
Teenage Groot.
Yeah. It was like him. It was his coming of age moment, right? Yeah, short lived, but
playing video games.
That was awesome.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Hey, you cute.
Hey. Yeah, I'm really. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I have to see the next one, I guess, before you have that definitive decision.
Yeah, I don't think I can judge this one because this one's clearly not done.
Yeah.
This is an installment. This is a part of a whole.
Yeah, it ended so dark. for everybody other than Thanos, right? Like, even for him, he was broken, and it was dark for him, but he got what he wanted.
I love that, though, that question. Did you do it? Yes. And then, like, well, what did it cost you? Everything.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
Because it totally... Well, half.
No, it cost him everything.
Yeah.
He got his wish of half, but it cost him everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So I originally thought they were going to have Infinity War, like, Part 1, Part 2. I heard that they changed the title, and now it's going to be Avengers 4, or is there going to be...
That's just the like, placeholder title.
The working title,
until they come up with what it is. They won't release the name of it because they said it will... It'll
spoilers.
Yeah, it'll like clearly point the direction of the next one, and they don't want to spoil that for anybody.
All right.
And I've heard that's backfired on them actually, and like they're getting a lot of backlash for that decision. But
It's working title, Infinity times Infinity War.
right? Ooh.
It's how you win arguments as a child. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious to see where the hell this is going to pick up now.
I don't know.
Like, because we get our Captain Marvel movie next year for sure.
Yep.
Right? And that's going to take place in the 90s, I believe. So it's before everything.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And then she'll be in the next one. So maybe that'll kind of like
okay. That would
up.
totally make the time to call in the emergency call type thing that he had.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense that was existed already and why S.H.I.E.L.D. was even around.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, did you hear my stomach?
Yeah.
That was a mega growl, dude. That's got to go somewhere.
Yeah. You're going to see you lift up off your seat.
Oh, man. The window's already open.
Yeah. It's going to get better and better.
So, did you guys think anything was missing out of the movie, or were you expecting anything to happen? Like, I'm thinking like that Adam character that they showed at the end of
I thought that
Guardians 2. I thought we were going to see a little bit of that.
Well, and he's so important in the comic.
Yeah, Adam Warlock.
Him and Doctor Strange are like the two big wigs while everybody's kind of keeping Thanos busy. They're the ones that are really kind of plotting and scheming to get the gauntlet away from him.
So
right?
Part 2 is probably where, if anything.
I would assume.
Yeah.
There's got to be some more like end trailer scenes where we get more hints at him or something. He has to come in.
Right.
He has to be in there. And Ant-Man and Hawkeye. What the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
They're clearly still alive. Well, at least Ant-Man, because he's got his own movie coming up again. Right?
For all we know, Ant-Man was in the movie.
He's just teeny the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's just like,
he saw
screw
Thanos
this,
and he's
dude.
like,
Yeah. I'm out.
that's a negative.
Yeah. I don't got blasters or wings. I'm out of here.
What kind of crap is this? He's like, somebody says something about it. I don't know, maybe it was part of a movie. It's like, that Ant-Man asks Spider-Man, so what, do you control all the spiders? And he's like, no, what do you do?
Yeah.
I control all the ants.
Yeah. He doesn't control spiders.
No.
An Ant-Man and a Spider-Man. I think that's it, though. I don't think there would be anybody else that's a bug thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still struggling with just how cut up it felt to me.
I don't know. It didn't bother me.
Where would you put this movie as far as your kind of like your list of your Marvel movies?
I'd say 2 or 3.
Wow, that good or that high on the list?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is any of that because of the affinity we have for all those others, and that this is like this brings
totally.
them together?
Totally.
Is what it, yeah.
Entirely. I think Thor's the one that. Boy, man. Maybe 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Yeah. I think it's good. I really did enjoy it. There's a lot of great stuff that happens. There's a lot of things that are gonna make the MCU different forever, right? You'd assume, unless they do just like like you're saying, a time loop and they just rewind it, it'd be kind of lame.
Yeah, but,
I hope they don't.
The time loop would only be from. Well, actually, it could be from anywhere because he controlled. But I would assume it would have been from where he saw all the different. Once they landed on Titan. So that would be the time in which it was initiated.
Yeah, because he clearly states that that they had implemented some sort of plan, and that was the only way to do it.
Yeah, he says there's one possibility, and then he goes, now we're in the end game.
Yeah.
So clearly that they've already followed the steps that were required for the one possibility.
Yeah. What did you think of Doctor Strange? Because this is basically his second movie.
I think he's way better than he was in his own movie.
Yes, I would totally agree. I think he does stand out as pretty good.
I still think all of the magical stuff was kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
The Hadouken?
Yeah.
But the one magic dude that was, spoiler alert, dies.
Yeah.
I love the way they killed him, though.
Did he die? I don't remember
He
seeing him
got
die.
spaced.
Oh, I guess I missed that.
Yeah.
Dude, you remember the aliens where they sucked the...
Oh no! I thought you were talking about Strange's his buddy.
sidekick.
Yeah, his
The other.
No. The evil controlling dude.
Yeah. That was cool. I was a big fan. That was when we first saw the spider arms.
His name was Squidward, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That was pretty good. Yeah.
But like I said, he comments about how cheesy Doctor Strange's stuff is, though.
Yes. Yeah. And he basically calls them parlor tricks.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think one of the worst CGIs was were some of those
henchmen
henchmen of Thanos.
Yes.
The girl, she was pretty bad. She almost looked like video game CGI. She kind of reminded me of
when you first saw her.
Even towards the end in that last fight with Black Widow. I didn't think she looked that great.
She wasn't that bad. It was what bugged me more than anything else is how strong they made her when we first time you see her. They illustrate how strong she is and everybody is, and then they put Black Widow, who has no powers, up against her and standing her own. I mean, just totally standing through it. No.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have Black Widow fight her, Black Widow needs to be way outmaneuvering her.
Were you talking about when that Black Order gal at the first scene?
The first scene, Black Widow was totally avoiding and not directly blocking and all this
You're
stuff.
talking later when she
Later,
took her on more of
the
a
Wakanda.
mono.
The Wakanda battle was no,
Yeah.
not going to happen. I'm sorry. First hit, Black Widow been squished.
Yeah.
I did love it when the Scarlet Witch came in and did her whole thing, and then the right-hand woman.
Why was she up there?
Yeah. Why wasn't she doing that the whole time? I love that she's even in Black Panther, she was had all these rational thoughts.
Yeah.
It was why isn't this happening? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
She's what is the deal? You're superheroes. Figure this out.
But how underpowered does the Scarlet Witch seem, though? Because I mean, she is this enormous powerhouse.
But I think she's kind of in that same, kind of like Spider-Man, right? Where they're really rookies and they don't know what they're doing. Because what was it? The second Avengers movie when she finally switches sides, she's a bad guy for most of that movie. When she switches sides, she's in this emotional, frantic state before that, right? She doesn't come across as mature as everybody else. Everybody else has got these clear-cut purposes, and her purpose is undefined still. And until now, maybe, right? With what's happened with Vision. So, maybe now she'll be this powerhouse, and who knows what she could do. Did she dust? Dude, my stomach, man.
No. Oh, wait. I think she did.
Did she dust?
I think so. I think she did.
So many people dust in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they'll just be gone in the next one?
Unless
for the first half of the movie or something?
I'm sure
I don't know.
Until whatever it is established, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe how many people that happened to at the end of it.
Yeah, over half.
Yeah, when you talked about her being underpowered, she spent a lot of time kind of reining in her powers because of what, what happened.
Well, if you ever talk about most overpowered characters in the Marvel Universe, she's up near the top.
Yeah.
She's just incredibly powerful. She's second to the Phoenix.
Yeah.
But she was even even in Civil War, she was really sheltered.
Yeah.
She was locked in the headquarters, right? Didn't get a chance to use her power. She hasn't had a chance to really just explode with them.
How come you don't see her use the mind control at all? Because she had mind control, over, a bunch of the Avengers in that movie. You know? Seems like a...
Yeah, totally just turn the enemies on themselves and stuff, yeah.
Especially when they're those weird dog things.
Yeah.
Which totally made whimpery dog noises when they got beat up.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Did you guys pick up on the Chitauri? As soon as I heard the blasters and stuff
Chitauri?
going on, yeah, whatever. Chitauri, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, it's a Chitauri. You know.
For what?
So, there was that scene where they were attacking what I guess was Gamora's planet or whatever. As soon as I heard the Chitauri or
Oh yeah, in the flashback scene.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it brought me back. I recognized it from the first Avengers movie, so I was like, oh,
Yeah. And there were loads of things in this movie that were were this clear acknowledgement of this is what you've waited for, and this is what we've hinted at the whole time. We're going to give you little pieces here and there to remind you where these things came from and how we got to this point. But it really was its own standalone thing. It was just a lot. It was a lot to process. I'm still processing it.
Yeah.
That's my biggest.
So clearly,
it's kind of my
we need to
biggest
see
thing
it
with
again.
it. I'm gonna go see it again. I bet I'll come away liking it more than I did. I did really enjoy it, but it just wasn't. I really thought this was just gonna be this like.
Are you gonna do what I did with? What one was that we saw? I saw it twice. I can't remember now what it was.
I don't remember.
I saw it with you, and then I saw it with you again the next.
And you like
yeah,
it more?
it's the last DC movie.
Yeah.
Justice League?
Yeah, Justice League.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it might have been Justice
Yeah,
League.
you saw it with me, and
I
then you
like
saw it with
Justice
Marcus.
League more and more every time I watch it.
I was saying,
I've seen it like 4 times
I
now.
hated it the first time I saw it with you. I was like, you walk out of that was so awesome. I'm like, I don't know, what's he liking about this?
I said awesome for a DC movie.
I know.
yeah.
There was a big caveat there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay,
terrible
no,
though.
you
I kind of
walked
like
out of that
Justice League.
movie just with these big bright eyes, and you're like, dude, that was awesome. And I'm like,
No,
okay.
Maybe it was Ragnarok then, because I didn't have that. I don't remember having that.
I think
response.
it was Ragnarok.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we all saw Justice League together.
Yeah,
That's right.
And we
Yeah,
all
yeah.
we
It must
all
have been
walked back to the
Ragnarok.
car and went,
Yeah, no, it was
I didn't
Ragnarok.
hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all shocked that we didn't hate it.
But when you saw it again, you fell in love with it, right?
It wasn't
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok either, though.
It had to be.
Maybe it was. I don't remember now. But I know it was just a movie that I saw a second time. And the first time I saw it, I was kind of questioning what was going on. And then when I saw it the second time, it was just totally just.
All right,
wow,
that
this
doesn't
is-
sound like
Was-
Ragnarok.
was
though.
it
No,
when-
there's nothing to question in that movie.
No, I saw Ragnarok separate from you guys. I didn't get to see it with you.
Yeah.
So.
You
It
went and
would've-
saw, that was the one you went and saw with
I saw
me
that
and
one.
Sean from work, right?
Yeah, I saw that one with you and Sean from work. But what movie was it that I saw with? Because I went and saw one with you.
What
and
happened in it?
I don't remember.
Anything at all? I don't
Who were
remember.
the characters in it?
Yeah.
No shit.
Were they in this
It wasn't
movie?
Ghost in the Shell. Wasn't Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Was it Marvel, DC? You don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was the Marvel or DC movie.
That's so yes. That doesn't
Well,
help
you
at all.
asked if it was Blade Runner and all that stuff too. No, it was
Yeah.
not
Okay.
that.
Okay.
No, like I said, I can't remember what the hell movie it was now.
It's gonna
But I remember-
keep you
I
up at
remember-
night.
It will now. Damn it. Yeah. But I just remember. I remember when I.
3 in the morning.
This is it. I'm gonna turn off my notifications.
There you go. Yeah, smart ass.
I will say, because of the way this movie made me feel at the end, and it is, I think Empire is a great way to say what it is, because I really did kind of feel that way after it.
Yeah, but nobody got their hand cut off.
Well, Thanos,
Uh-huh.
his gauntlet was pretty brutalized.
No, the one dude got his arm cut
Oh,
off
that's
by
right,
that
in
little,
the-
like Doctor Strange's minion when he threw his little
Yes.
magic, portal thing, and the guy was reaching through, and then
No,
he
I'm
closed
talking about the
portal.
heroes.
Oh, wow, I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Dude, lots.
You said nobody got their hand cut off.
Okay, lots of bad guys got their hands cut off. Did you not see the whole Wakandan freaking
Yeah.
thing? They're like reaching through, and all of a sudden, they're like reform, and their arms get cut off. Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
were the
yeah,
rhinos?
yeah.
Really?
What?
Where were the rhinos, guys?
Right? I was wondering that too.
Yeah.
The dude with the rhinos wasn't there either.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the gorilla guy was there, who's my favorite from
Yeah.
Black Panther, so I was stoked to see him in there again.
Yeah.
But he never got his moment. He was just, again, maybe that scene with him is a good example of how I feel about the movie. Like, there's all this stuff in there, because it's got to be in there, but a lot of it just didn't have a chance to fully shine. Right? And maybe the second one will clear up some of that, especially now that there's half the people to deal with, so they can focus more on them. I don't know. I will say one good thing I'm really stoked about is we only have to wait a year.
Yeah.
Right? Like, by the time this one comes out on Blu-ray, it's only going to be a few months before the other one's in theaters, which I think is awesome. Don't make me wait for it. You can't end it the way they did and make me wait forever for the sequel.
Now, you brought up the gorilla guy.
Yeah.
I did notice that, Black Panther dusted, but
Yeah.
they did not show him. So I don't know.
Yeah, they did.
Did they?
They did. He's standing there.
I saw him, but I don't
Maybe
remember
he'll
seeing
wear
him
it
dusted.
now. He'll be the new Black Panther.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thought.
Well,
he was basically going to be, king. If
Can he be
there
Black
wasn't-
Gorilla? I hope he sticks with the gorilla thing.
Black Gorilla.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I want to see the gorilla.
Well, he can't. There's no flowers for him to drink, so he'll never gain the powers of the Black Panther.
That's true. They got rid of all those. Yeah. Bummer. Right? Totally. And they never really resolved anything with Pepper.
No.
She's just kind of there in the beginning, real
and then
quick.
she's gone again, just like they
Again,
did
I
for-
think another good example of them just doing this thing to like shut the audience up about this part of it.
Pepper Potts.
There's a little too much of that
Yes.
in the movie for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Talked
I
about how
liked
they got
it.
engaged.
Yeah. And he invited what's his face to the wedding because he saved the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doctor Strange's buddy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a lot of hand stuff with Doctor. I thought that and the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Like, what is she doing on the set? Everybody else is pretending to fight, and she's just like finger rolls. That's pretty funny.
Thank you, CGI.
There's a tennis ball that they're moving that you just don't see.
Yeah, right. That's like something on the end of her fingers that she's moving around, right? Little green wires. So we got to be able to reference it.
Little tactile response.
Yeah. I've seen some of the green screen. There's like this montage green screen thing that you can watch of Marvel and DC stuff.
Have you seen the
hilarious.
Hulk fists?
Yeah. So they can reference where things are.
They actually use like the ones that you can get. The Hulk fist.
They're big foam fists with the dots on them.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what's moving around, and that's how they track the fists in the.
Is it like the ones you could get at the toy store?
Probably.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Hulk smash!
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're further out. Like
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have a hard time, I guess, going on about it too much because I'm a little baffled and confused myself. Right? I'm gonna have to watch it again.
it's kind of a somber cast comparatively.
I guess, right? We're all a little bit just like, Like, it was intense.
Very.
The scene
And it was
near
long.
the end of the movie, it was probably, I don't know, it was probably a good 5 to almost 8 minutes maybe. I didn't hear a single sound in that theater.
No,
Yeah.
Nobody. Nobody
did-
was eating food. Nobody
Did you
was.
hear me comment on that? Like
Yeah.
it's like I turned to him at right when like near the end of that. So I said, I think the tone in this theater is what.
Yeah.
Says it
You
all
could
right
if
there.
Yeah,
if there
for
wasn't
sure.
a movie playing, you would have heard a mouse fart.
Exactly.
It was because everybody's like,
Oh yeah, for sure. Jaws dropped, just like
Yeah.
wow.
Yep.
And then, and again, that's part of the roller coaster of this movie, right? It was like all these highs with some lows in there, and then all of a sudden, just bam, the ride's over.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't fault them. Anytime you have a response like that, dude, they totally nailed it. They elicited a response that hard.
yeah.
Yes, I would totally agree. Yeah,
You know.
I mean, I think it's a good job. I think they did a really good job with the movie. It's just different. It is different than other Marvel movies.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because
I would say really kudos to Marvel for doing that with the past several Marvel movies. They've all kind of had their own really unique tone to them, which is
do I need to go find your previous casts here where you're like, yeah, I'm okay with it, but it was a little formulaic.
Which one?
Name one. That's what you've said for the last 5 movies.
Well, they are kind of. Well, I think this movie is kind of that way too. I think again, you have your cliche things that have to be in the movie, right? And they make sure that those are all in there because it is a Marvel movie. But I mean, really, I'm okay with that. I want them in there.
Isn't that the basis of the comics too?
Yeah, right. They're all kind of the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just it's like I'm a little hung up. I've been trying to think of what I would score it. I wish that I should have made a list of all of our other Marvel scores.
I'd like to know what our other scores are, but even if I score it higher, I'm still probably going to put other ones ahead of it as my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Because even though it might achieve, I give it points for what it achieves. But I don't know.
It was hard to get really personally attached to any real one character in the movie. Did you find that?
Yeah, a little bit.
The other ones are so so clearly building up each character, and
I think
you're getting attached to that.
I think that's where this, because of that, you have a personal attachment to them in each of their own movies. You've got a personal attachment. They're almost like family as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Can you really say that you have any one family member you're more attached to than others? Obviously you do, but it's, you know what I'm saying? But they're still family. You know, and it hurts to lose them, and you know what I'm saying? And there's
but
an
even
attachment to it, and it's like, you can't say, I like you better than you, or you this better. You can't do that. It's this family. This is, it's a team, or a group, or a, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's how they've developed it. I mean, you've got an attachment to each one of them like that.
But even like in Civil War, there were standout differences between each character, and they had their own clear motivations, which I guess is what that whole movie's about, right?
Yeah.
But you have this real distinct personal attachment and why you feel this way about each character in that movie. And in this one, I didn't really have that. It was just kind of like, they're on the scene again. I hope they blast, or I hope they use their web, or I hope they do cool action scenes again, right?
Yeah.
Like, there was never this, like, I mean, I guess with the exception of, like, Vision and Scarlet Witch, right? Like, maybe they were your main two that really had that emotional whatever going on.
They were the drivers.
Yeah, there was a lot of, like, side banter and, like, snarky comments going on and, like, one-upping, ego jousting, I guess, whatever you want to call it, right?
Okay.
There's a lot of that kind of thing going on.
But that's Star-Lord.
That's Star-Lord, that's Doctor Strange, that's Iron Man. They all did it, right? Spider-Man, not so much. He's kind of the lackey.
Doctor Strange was just very matter-of-fact. Wasn't quite so egotistical behind it. He was just matter.
He is cocky, though.
Oh, he's cocky, but he's matter-of-fact. And then Stark was very, very cocky and very egotistical.
Yes,
and
which is classic.
And played his part. And Strange was just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You mean nothing. I've seen what the universe is and has to offer, and I've seen more than you could ever imagine in an infinitesimal, little bit.
You read it millions of times.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But you remember when they touch him, and he just falls back through, and in the movie, he's just like sees, and his like mind almost collapses on himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's seen all that. Stark has absolutely no comprehension of what that is.
Yes.
You know,
Totally
and Doctor Strange is just looking at him like, you child.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a I'm better than you. It's just you're a child.
Yeah.
I have seen things you will never ever comprehend.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a hard time. I just had a hard time getting attached to any one real character. Even Thanos, I really enjoyed Thanos in the movie. He surprised me more than anyone as far as how much I liked his character. And again, he's on that whole other level. So it's like maybe it's hard to ground him. And the moments that they did were great, but
Listen, you read the comic, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So the ease in which he acquired the stones, did he do that in the comic that easily? Did he just within minutes step into one area, done, I got it, and leave?
Yeah, I don't really remember that being a big part of the comic.
Okay, because I think that's like the one thing that I think could have been done better is drawn out the acquiring.
What if they would have ended it with like half the stones?
Or shy one.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly they got a plan, but it's... I just kind of felt like the way he acquired the stones was too quick.
It was very quick. Yeah.
I mean,
and I was really surprised when he got the time one that was the time one.
Yeah.
Like, and again, maybe it's not, right? Like, that could totally be this thing that's going to happen that we don't know about yet, but I thought that was a little fishy, too. He does get him really easily. Yeah. There's a lot of that in the movie, though. Like, there's a lot of this, like, this is going to happen now. This is going to happen now. Brace yourself. This is going to happen now. And they're just, like, keep going. And all the things are great and they're cool, but there's not a lot of room to breathe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the whole thing is Star-Lord's fault. Because
Everything's
they
his
just
fault.
about had that damn gauntlet off of him, and he got all mad.
That was...
Yeah. I was like,
But that's Star-Lord.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, and then Doctor Strange even says this was the only thing that could happen, right? So it's like he already foresaw that happening too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. So many questions. I don't even know.
Yes, we're in the end game now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just, yeah.
Which I think is also, that's just a great statement for not only this movie, but just for the MCU. Like, there's a real end game just in general. Like, a lot of these people are going to have to go. And I'm curious to see how they get brought back. Because the people that we speculated were going to go, they're still there.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody thought
War
Captain
Machine,
America,
Captain
War
American,
Machine,
War Machine.
Iron Man, they're all there. Most of the people that died were these newer people.
Yeah.
Which is, I was really shocked by that. Or I guess
Well,
not
I
died.
don't remember Scarlet
Dusted.
Witch dusting, but if you guys do, I don't remember seeing her
did.
dust.
Yeah, I can't remember either. There's a lot of that at the end.
I think she did. I can't remember, but I think she did.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it again. Give an update. Do we want to put a number on it? I think I've made up my mind.
I do and I don't. I really want to see the next one before I do, but...
I'm going to put a number on it.
I've got a number too.
I'm going to say 7.
7?
I think it deserves a solid 7. I think it's good.
Okay.
And I was gonna go 9, which
Wow.
so it's
I'm right there with you, Josh.
top 2 for me.
Thor?
Yeah.
Ragnarok? Is that the one before it?
Well, I'm kind of right there, 2 or 3, because OG Guardians was one of my absolute favorite movies, and Thor is right there. It's really tough.
It is tough.
Yeah, winter.
I agree.
So my top 4 for sure, and I don't know the order exactly, are Infinity War, Ragnarok.
But maybe we should just say what movies are better than this one. Do you put above this? You don't even have to
I don't
number
think I
them.
can. I don't
It's
think
up there with
it's
those
either
other
1 or
ones
2
too.
for me, most
Yeah.
likely.
Like, I think for me, that first Avengers movie is so awesome. I can't say enough good things about that movie. It's the one I've seen. I've seen that movie too many times. I should just say that. I like that better. I liked Civil War better. I liked Winter Soldier better.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I liked. I don't like Avengers better, but I would almost put the second one. I would almost put this in the realm of second Avengers for me. And I even think they have a really similar kind of tone and what's going on in those movies. But I would almost put it in that kind of range for me. Above Hulk, above
Wow.
Black Panther, but I still enjoyed Black Panther, right? Like, definitely Ragnarok I like better than this movie.
Yeah, I got Ragnarok above this. I think I got the first Avengers or first Guardians above this.
Yeah, I would say that too. Yep. I might even say like second Guardians is kind of about this for me.
Yeah,
I kind of came out of the theater the same way.
I'm thinking about it, yeah, even on second Guardians. I want to put the first Avengers above it solely for the fact of what the first Avengers did
Yeah.
to the MCU. That was like really kind of the kickoff moment of, hey, this is becoming something. And that's what...
I think it was that first time where it was like, these are movies that are going to cost us a lot of money to make. Right?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
that
that was
too.
that first defining moment of like, oh my god, these are going to be hundreds of millions of dollars to make these movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clearly.
And
but,
then will be very profitable movies.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying, it was the first one that clearly tied everything together, saying, hey, this is a cohesive thing that's moving forward.
Yeah.
And that's the first time that we as an audience were like, hey, this is actually happening and really building to it. I kind of want to put that ahead of this just for that fact. But I like this better.
So what about... because we've all been waiting for this movie, right? We've really been wanting it, which I think is part of my issue with it. So I'm gonna go on the record and say,
do you think you're downplaying it because you've read the comics? Because I know I haven't read the comics. I don't know it. So
no, because I've already gotten over that. I think you have to get over that pretty quickly as you get into the MCU. It's just not going to be the comic books. You have to get past that part, right? It just isn't. It's more and more rapidly becoming the comic books. But
well, no, the comic books are becoming them.
yeah, right. Like they're more and more blurring that line, but it's because they're giving on both ends, right? But I don't think you can go into any of these MCU movies thinking they're going to be rigidly to the comics. They're just not. I almost hope that that whatever this next wave is, there isn't end credit scenes that culminate to a next big arc. I almost kind of don't want that. I think it's great if they lead into maybe what the next movie or the movie after that will be, and then we just get that. But I don't know that I need 10 years of this overarching theme to get teased with at the end of the movie, that now we're forced to make this movie and make all these things click and work again the way that they did. I don't know that I'm into that again. Depends on how they do it.
They did it so well, though.
Yeah,
They
see,
really did.
I'm not as... I think they did okay. They did good. They did 7. They did good. But I think that's the movie's biggest drawback, is that it was more restricted than the rest, and so because of that, they had to put all these things into it to bring it all full circle. And so it's like it was already scripted way before the movie came out, right? And I think in a way that it puts too many rules on the movie.
I'm okay with that. I really am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that we disagree.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah. I think it's
good. I'm totally okay with the fact that they had the rules that they had to stick with, because I hate it when a director goes into something and says, I'm going to change this just because I want to put my flair to it, and totally changes something.
Yeah, well,
nothing bugs me more than that.
Well, and don't get me wrong, I'm really glad they did stick with the rules that they've implemented.
Which is my number one complaint about video game movies. You know, it's like, well, we got to put our flair to it. No, you don't. No, you do not need to put your flair to it.
Yeah.
You know, create great visuals for what you have existing already.
Yeah.
And just stick with what you have.
Yeah. Well, and by that I don't mean that, like, that they did a bad job of that. I don't think they did at all. I think what they did with this overarching story was awesome, and they did include all those parts really well, and it was this big, you know, shadow cast on all those other movies. I just don't like that had to define this movie so much and made this movie more rigid as far as the story goes.
I think that's what makes this a movie, though.
Oh, you're completely right.
You can't. This movie wouldn't exist outside of that.
You're totally right. But I think that's also why I'm okay if they don't do it for the next wave. I don't know that I need these little teasers again to build up to this big thing. Maybe they won't do it at all.
So what do you want for the next wave? What would you like to see for the next wave?
I've already said if they're going to do that type of thing, I'd love to see Secret Wars. But now, after seeing the Thanos Infinity War, which is good, I'm not saying it's bad, I don't know that I need that process to happen again. It makes it... I don't know. It takes something away from it a little bit. Where it's like, you have to follow all those things now.
So when they...
It's like getting a million trailers for a movie before it comes out, right? It's like, I don't need all those.
So you want the Secret War, we'll say, next.
Yeah.
So anything that they follow this with, we'll say it's the Secret War. Give us a little teaser. Give us the Stan Lee's cameos or something in that or whatever, like they did.
That's been like a big internet theory, is that Stan Lee's going to be something.
Oh, they've already established.
The Watchers.
They've already established he's a Watcher.
Yeah, they haven't confirmed it though.
I think he confirmed it.
Oh, did he?
I think so.
I don't know if we can trust him.
I think you're right in that regard.
Yeah.
But I think he confirmed that he was a Watcher in that. So
yeah,
which totally makes sense.
Yeah,
but
like, what would I? You want to know what I think his roles would be in this? No.
But so let's just say to put him in the cameos, and so the cameos have nothing to do with the overall thing, other than it's the Watcher thing.
Yeah.
Right. Because I mean, obviously they have these cameo or these end credit scenes, with the exception of a couple, totally foreshadow what's going on in this movie.
Yeah.
So if they do the Secret War thing for the next one, do you think the next one doesn't matter if they have the end credit scenes or not that are leading into it? People are just automatically going to start piecing it together, and it's going to be tied. It can be bound by the same restrictions regardless.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, they don't have to give you a scene if they still hint at it.
Yeah, but I'm saying they tell the next story. I've not read Secret Wars, I don't know, but so they tell the next Spider-Man sequence or whatever happens. He gets the black suit, or they have this, or they have the, you know what I'm saying? Whatever goes on, and people are going, oh, this is going to be Secret Wars, and it's going to have to be this, and then they just know that when they announce the Secret War movie,
yeah,
it's going to be, oh, well, all this has happened, and it's going to culminate to this. They're going to have to stick to it regardless. They're totally going to have that
Yeah,
same...
that's why I mean I don't really want that. I don't want that.
They're going to have the same formulaic thing they have to stick to, so yeah.
Yeah, I would rather the movie... I like the end credit scenes. They're great, right? But I'm almost a bigger fan of the ones that aren't so much like a goof reel or whatever, but they don't necessarily have to do anything with the Thanos thing. Like they're just like the second Guardians one.
Yeah.
That just kind of had like these goofy scenes and stuff, which was great. And I like those in the Marvel movies. They're kind of known for that, right?
Yeah.
They've stamped that as their thing. But I would almost rather just have the end scenes just hint at like some other movies or something that might come up, but not this big grand thing where now I'm going to have to watch how many end credit scenes that are all pointing to this one thing. Where
So in
it's
other
like,
words, so at the end of Ant-Man, it shows the scene with the Wasp. And then,
yeah, now she's in the next movie,
It
right?
shows the scene with the Wasp. Like,
Perfect
what?
example.
What? She gets wings and blasters?
Yeah, yeah.
And have that be it. And like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
it's like, oh, sweet, in the next one we're going to get this, right?
Yeah.
That, I think, I like that better than having to do this big overarching thing that now all the pieces have to fit together.
I don't know. I really think that's one of the things I love about this the most is the fact that they've stuck to that, though, and have this big overarching thing that culminated in this.
Yeah. I like the way they did it. Like, don't
You just
get me
don't
wrong.
want to do it again.
I just don't necessarily want them to do it again. And the end result of the process that they did was less impactful than I thought it would be going into it.
I just think you amped yourself too much.
Like, maybe so.
I really do.
Yeah,
I
it's different
really,
than the other
really
ones
do.
for sure. Maybe that's part of it too. Like, it just has a different feel, which again is great. I don't
'Cause-
want them to all be the same, but it's hard to. I don't know. It's hard to say.
You haven't talked me down. I still want to know.
No, you should give it. I do think it's good. I think everybody should go see it.
I was really trying to get this out of here and get a reason to not.
To not put a 9 on it?
Not
No, I
put a
think you
9,
should put a 9 on it.
put a 9 on it.
I think 99% of the people out there are going to put a 9 on it. For sure. There's so much Marvel. There's so much Marvel out there. And there's so many of these little scenes that added up to what this was. I was expecting a little more.
My
when I went
only
into it.
complaint about the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe is they need to figure out how to bring in the smaller characters.
You want Netflix people in there.
I want the Netflix people in there.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's just small little scenes. Just little small little background things like when they are in New York.
Yeah.
You know, so when they're in New York, the Defenders have something to do, but then they're gone.
Yeah. And it really, like, even for me, like in those first few Avengers movies, when they just talk about S.H.I.E.L.D., you know,
Yeah.
or like the first guys were like, oh, here's, you know, Nick Fury, I'm from S.H.I.E.L.D., and we have these other people that do these other things, and then they all come together in that first Avengers movie. Like, I liked the way that was done better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it.
you know,
I don't know. I feel like I'm coming across saying I didn't like it, but I did like it. It's a good movie.
You know, it would have been great though. Sorry, just the end scene of the Avengers with the shawarma.
Oh yeah. Of the Avengers.
What?
Avengers. The end credit scene of Avengers when they all at the shawarma shop.
Oh yeah.
City's destroyed, everything's gone, and they're just eating sandwiches.
Yeah.
You know, so when they're in New York, it'd be great if they were like outside. Something's going on. It happens. Like Tony steps out and says, you know, they see what's going on out in this big donut in the sky. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Big donut in the sky. How awesome would it have been like if when they pan up to that, they pan past that shawarma shop, and it had all the Defenders in there.
That would be cool.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah. Just at least a cameo, right? Like hook them up with that. Yeah.
That would have been hilarious.
All right, well, we put scores on it. Go see it. I mean, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from seeing it. You have to see it. Now we get to review our beer.
Yeah, we do. So how do you like your
Well, it's
Mountain Dew?
It's a crisp,
Your fancy
refreshing-
Mountain Dew because it's in a glass.
That's right. A nice frosty mug for my Mountain Dew. Well, if I'm gonna put a number on it, I guess I go. I don't know, 7. I guess 6 or 7.
Wow, you really
Wow.
like it.
Well,
So,
it's,
like-
it has the need. I need the caffeine and the sugar for a late night drive home.
So
What about as far as
So is the score a 6 or a 7, or is it a 6 or 7?
Let's go 6.
6?
Go 6.
What about like as far as your soda of choice? Would you pick a Mountain Dew?
You know, I actually prefer, I hate to say it, Diet Mountain Dew over because
Wow,
it's just not
okay,
as
Jay?
sugary.
Yeah.
It's just so, you
All
know.
right.
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
trying to make sure I got all my stuff here.
Nobody wants to hear about Mountain Dew. Everybody knows of its purpose in life.
Mountain Dew is my favorite soda.
Yeah.
I hate Mountain Dew.
Late night.
I do.
We got Mountain Dew and we got crab juice. I'll take the crab juice.
Exactly.
I like it.
I hate Mountain Dew. I've never liked it.
I think
I've never, ever liked Mountain Dew.
I'm trying to think of... I'm going to give the beer... Maybe I'll also give it a 7. I think it's about as good as Infinity War. That's fine.
Wow. Okay.
What are you going to give it? 9? Same as Infinity War?
No. Not even close.
7? You don't think it's good?
What is it? Is it a BVS?
Yeah.
It is not a BVS.
Yeah, because I didn't see you go like this.
It's no longer... It's not the beer we'll never speak of.
No, it's not the beer we'll never speak of. It's really, really, really malt heavy,
It is.
and it's got a lot
More
of...
so as it warmed up. More so as it warmed up.
Yeah, but malt was really, really strong. It was first thing you noticed was the sweet, and then hey, this is really sweet. Oh god, it's sweet. You know.
It's kind of like Infinity War. It's this roller coaster.
Yeah, and except for it's just the roller coaster ends in
Yeah.
and not so much irk in there, but
Yeah.
but it's yeah, that's a better one.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, but no, we're in the Northwest. Northwest is known for IPAs. It's a definitive style here. Mm-hmm. The IPAs are getting big here, and this is only a 6.66%. Mm-hmm. I really want to say 7+ is kind of the standard for just a general IPA anymore.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that personally.
Yeah.
But I've had 8% ones that taste similar to this.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting the 8%.
Mm-hmm. So what do you give it?
I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Okay, you can do that.
I'm
not even going to try to talk you up.
No. It's
It's a
too...
kind 6.
Yeah, right?
It's too sweet and too segregated with the way the flavors come through.
I was kind of hoping you would have drank it. We all could have given it a 6. Go full circle. Right?
Yeah.
All right, put down your 5.5. It's okay. Put it down. Don't feel weird about it.
So yours was 6, huh?
Yeah.
No,
well,
yours
I
was
gave it
6.
7.
He gave it a 7.
Yeah, no, I thought it was fine. It's got that kind of earthy flavor at the end too. That
It has a little bit of that.
Yeah, I kind of like that in beer.
It's okay. It's too many.
Would you run out and buy it again?
No.
No. What if it had it? What if it was like an 8%, 8.5?
It was 8.5%. I still probably wouldn't want it, but I would give it probably another point just because it tastes like it should.
Yeah, you should have let me pick it out. The numbers on the can would have changed.
Yeah. But I don't want the bigger beers.
Dude, like the whole time, my stomach is just will not stop.
It's an explosion waiting to happen.
Right?
Anyway.
Yeah. You're gonna blow the green screen down.
I know, right? I'm gonna need the explosion.
There's actually a wall back here.
Do you want to kick us off again there?
Oh yeah, to all the nerds.
Through all the fuzz,
Bottoms up.
let's get Nerdbuzzed. Nice, I got the explosion on time. That's what she said.
Talking about beer, talking about
She never says that.
I got it on
culture,
time.
Nerdbuzzed.
Normally I got it early.
Marcus and Jeremiah, you're on Nerdbuzzed.
You gotta start all over.
No, phone's dead, so you're going to have to send me a
Let's
picture
get
now.
Nerdbuzzed.